And we are recording Denver Broncos, Mile High View, no commercials, no bullshit. We're going to the Super Bowl. Wait a minute. Adam Gase is a genius. He's tanking for Trevor. That's what he's doing. They can't fire him.
I'd also say this to Broncos country. You still want to fire Vic Fangio?
Hey, when are we going to hear the cries for Bortles? You know that I had to put that out there because that's going to be what's next. It's going to be a quarterback controversy with the backups spreading into the lock, return. You can see this already.
Yeah, we've seen this carousel before.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the second half last night?
Well, I saw Rypien staring down triple coverage, and I said to myself, "Don't do it." And as I thought that, "Don't do it," he threw that ball, and I thought, "Well, there you go." And I know, and I want to bring this back up. The last video I did was about the Bortles coming in, and I know they would have put him in had he not been inactive. They would have put him in on that, at least in that second interception. You would have saw Bortles come in.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that that's what they should. Still don't know why Bortles is even here anyway. I mean, Driscoll could have won this game without the INTs, I think. The pass blocking schematic-wise, they finally used what you said, the tight ends. I don't understand why Shermer didn't understand that after the Pittsburgh game. Didn't quite understand that. Right tackle looked better, but it's the Jets, so I don't know, where to go with that.
I still think the interior of the offensive line, a.k.a. Graham Glasgow and Dalton Reisner, struggle like they always do against blitz packages.
Yes, Troy Aikman actually brought that up. He pointed that out. Where he was getting beaten, turned around. But, if we keep saying that we love Reisner, then he can't do any wrong, He can't do
he saved Garrett Bolles' career.
Yes.
So.
Yes. But I kept saying, I said it was the tight end blocking that Scandrello had that helped. And it wasn't just me that said that. Other offensive linemen from the NFL brought that up. So.
Yeah. What do you think of what did you think of those last 11 seconds of the game when they kept throwing it up and not taking the kneel on fourth down and giving them, the ball, and they weren't going to score anyway because they haven't shown that they were consistently moving the ball up and down the field all night. But that's one of my criticisms of Pat Shermer is just like you're going to get your quarterback killed if you're going to continue to do that. And see, this is why I opened up with you still want to fire Vic Fangio, because the mark of a great coach is he made adjustments. And I love what he did with Devontae Bosby. I don't understand why Devontae Bosby was cut. It was cut because he fits this scheme like a glove, and he's played under Vic Fangio for a very long time.
Tell me about Bosby. What they cut him? What happened after they cut him?
They put him on the practice squad.
Okay, so he was on the practice.
And they promoted him this week from the practice squad. So
who got demoted?
Usain Bassi, because he was playing in the game.
Yeah, they brought him in. They brought him.
Yeah,
as a free agent. That was one of those free. That was that free agent.
Undrafted free agent type players that was making a lot of money.
Yes.
So
our great. I must see you gave it an F. So I think you were better at the grading than me. I was being generous.
I still I'm not going to be generous because it's the New York Jets, and I was texting back and forth with people on Twitter last night and all that good stuff, and this offensive line looks a whole lot better. This, that, everything. Sports talk radio is already telling me this. They're already telling us this offensive line is a lot better. So I'm just like, dude, you played against the New York Jets, and so when you play against New England next week, Bill Belichick is going to come up with a lot of blitz packages because
what they did right was they did the scheming correctly. They did the scheming that they should have had. They should have actually had in the Pittsburgh Steelers game.
Yeah.
You mentioned they brought in the tight ends for blocking.
Yeah.
The extra tight ends for blocking to fill in the 5-man rush, the AB gaps. But you didn't see the linebackers coming in with this team like you did the others. So yeah, it did look better. And
Yeah,
I suppose they're singing the praises of Rypien.
They are.
Which I know you throw 3 interceptions, and I guarantee you, I know they want to get Bortles in there. I know it.
Yeah.
And you know what I did like though? What Rypien did, I did like the one thing was when he blocked for that run play, because that's a throwback. That's throwback football. That goes way back. That goes way back to the Jim Thorpe days, where before quarterbacks became princesses. That was standard operating procedure. Quarterbacks blocked for running back.
I also want to bring up something that a lot of people aren't going to bring up. I'm done with Melvin Gordon.
Oh yeah.
I'm done with him. I'm done with him. I after that drop pass that Rypien, it was such a perfect placed ball by Brett Rypien on that little in and out route, it was like a standard post pass whatever for a running back, and he just dropped the football, and everybody's saying that he's a better catcher than Philip Lindsay. I guarantee you Philip Lindsay would have made that catch.
Yes.
Guaranteed because he did that in college.
I know he did in college. Yeah. I don't understand what they're talking about. I just don't get it.
And I also want to bring up. I want to talk about, because I'm going to continue to bring this up. I love Vic Fangio. I'm telling people right now. I don't care that first drive where they gave up that touchdown. I'm like, oh, here we go again. And Justin Simmons, what a terrible effort, and he had another bad game.
Well,
what was Jackson doing?
Jackson, yes.
What was he doing?
Yeah, do you know Jackson was the guy, the key miss tackle when the Steeler, their running back, ran from their end of the field almost.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was
60 yards.
It was Jackson who missed the key block, or key tackle. Excuse me.
Yeah, those safeties, both of them have regressed, and I don't know if it's the schematic that the scheme but they're running the same scheme they did last year. But the one thing I love about Vic Fangio, and the one criticism I do have with Vic Fangio, is on the defensive side of the ball, he does play a lot of prevent, and that's just the way his mindset is. And him and Bill Belichick kind of have that same model where they give up, and they clamp down when they get in the red zone. But what I did love about Vic Fangio is he brought the pressure. Thank you for doing that, because I love how he kind of changed it up, because in the first half, and thank you, Vic Fangio, for realizing that Bryce Callahan is a slot corner, not an outside corner. And look what happened in the second half. You had Michael Ojemudia, Devontae Bosby on the outside, both of them, and then you had Bryce Callahan in the slot. So I love, and people, Vic Fangio still doesn't get it. I love Vic Fangio. I think this was one of his best defensive games. He gave up 21 points, but that was mostly because the offense kept going 3 and out, and the special teams.
Well, this team is player personnel challenged because we can't. Elway can't get it right in free agency, and the draft hasn't been as advertised.
Oh yeah, KJ Hamler got hurt again. What a shocker!
Oh, is Hamler now hurt?
His hammy.
Oh yeah, he's that doesn't surprise me, because hammies could linger all season long.
Yep.
Once you start getting them, so that doesn't surprise me. I'm also Patrick has turned out to be a very good. I had a feeling that would happen. That's one shining bright star there. What about Fant's injury?
He's fine. Adam Schefter came out on Twitter last night and talked to a few people from the Denver Broncos organization. He's fine.
Now, apparently, the Broncos brought in the draft another Fant type.
Albert O, and they haven't. See, that's where I'm kind of confused. You brought in Nick Vanette, who hasn't done anything. Another John Elway dumb decision, and then you drafted Albert O in the 4th round, and you keep having him inactive.
And what I don't
are
understand is Shermer is. This is what I never understood this offseason. Shermer is not known for big on tight ends, really. So why was that decision? Who made that decision? Who made the decision? Tight ends? Did they just want to? Because did they? I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. It's just, or did they look at and said, we have a chance to stock up on tight ends? Like sometimes you can get lucky and stock up on some corners or, just different players, linebackers, sometimes depending on the team. Was it one of those kind of things? But then you ask yourself, well, this is a team that's depleted in a lot of different areas. Should have they picked up a right tackle? Well, they got that guy. Should they have picked up a linebacker besides the one that they got? Yeah. Used that in different places. What about Ojemude? What about his? He's
up and down, like I expect from a learning corner. Yeah, he's learning.
Do you think there's hope for him?
Yes. I like Michael Ojemudia. I like his mentality. He's better than Isaac Yiadom, in my opinion. But that's not saying much, but I'm just saying I like that pick in the draft because that was a Vic Fangio selection because I know how Vic Fangio likes his corners. He likes when they come up and tackle, and he has the length and all that. Yeah, he got burned on a few plays, but he made some really good plays also. And I know it's against the Jets, but I like Michael Ojemudia a lot more.
It's receivers they're up more. That's where they're better players are at the receiving level.
And what I like from my corners is if you have to tackle. That's what I like. That's what I liked about the 2015 defense. You had those corners tackled. You had Aqib Talib, Chris Harris, and Bradley Roby that could tackle. So I like Michael Ojemudia a lot, and I thought Bryce Callahan also had a good game too. Not a lot of people are talking about him either. When they put him in the slot, that's his comfortable position is playing the nickel corner.
Yeah, I'm very happy that finally turned out because I was very bitter about that him being on IR and all that.
For sure. Yeah.
So he had to come back, unlike our right tackle out there, Mr. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Exactly.
Now, what I want to talk about is the quarterback situation and stability. Is that I still think Driscoll is the better quarterback for the backup position.
Yep.
I'm glad. I mean, it was nice to see that they gave him it's nice he got a chance for him. But as far as the team goes, they should have just stuck with Driscoll so that they can keep giving him reps. Don't know why they're bringing in Bortles other than to start a quarterback controversy.
I think that's Elway for you.
Yeah,
he likes to have the headlines and all that. So, I'm going to talk about Brett Rypien for a minute, and I think Brett Rypien could be a very good backup quarterback in this league.
He's also learning.
Exactly.
I said Driscoll. Well, the only reason I say Driscoll is because he had more time. Sure. I want to start getting now. Rypien has time, so they got to make a decision. But they got Bortles. Exactly. They're going to throw him in.
Oh yeah, he's going to play against New England.
Going to be gone, or somebody's going to be gone here, and it's not going to be Bortles.
No. But going back to Rypien, I was really impressed by him. I know that I knew this coming out of college. He doesn't have the arm, but his poise in the pocket and, him understanding the offense. And I told everybody they're going to do a lot of short deke and dunk passes, and they did that. But as the game went on, you could see he started to get more comfortable. And I'm not saying Brett Rypien's this all-world quarterback like Sports Talk Radio is saying right now, but I really liked what he did. Besides those interceptions, that touchdown pass to Patrick was a beauty. That was a heck of a pass, although it got tipped. But what do you think of Jerry Jeudy last night?
Yes, he's coming into his own.
Mm-hmm.
He has to. He has to come into his own. So he's being put on the acceleration course. So I think what it is, he's starting to feel more comfortable now. You know, the newness is kind of wearing off, and but I want to get back to the quarterback.
Okay.
I wanted to see Driscoll in this situation where he would have had time to throw. He had there was this doesn't this what Rip we don't know what Rypien would have done with Tampa Bay or the Steelers.
Yep.
And when the heat started to get on him, he started to melt.
Okay.
He started to melt. That's my and again, he's inexperienced, right? Maybe over time, but something that Driscoll wouldn't do that he did is when he stared down that triple coverage.
Mm-hmm.
He stared down the triple coverage, and you can't. I mean, that's a big no. That's bigger than anything Driscoll did by far. I mean, you don't do that. I mean, you're staring at triple coverage. That's just a 101. So I would have liked to have just seen, since we don't have Lock, okay, what Driscoll could have done with not being under the duress, And it was a disservice to break that you've got somebody who's got reps.
Okay.
I wanted to see what this guy could do with that situation where you're finally blocking correctly.
And I'm not saying Brett Rypien's the end all be all. And I said, I was like, those 2 interceptions, and I'd say all 3 of those interceptions are pretty terrible by his part. And I understand it, where you're coming from and all that. And I understand that a lot. And I really wanted to see Driscoll play this game because I knew they were going to start Rypien. I mean, when you're going in this week and you're not deciding on who's your starting quarterback, that's a sign that Rypien was going to play. So, and I know Bortles is going to play this next weekend, and
likely, yeah,
he's going to play, and we're going to have another quarterback controversy, and they're going to get rid of Driscoll and Rypien, and Bortles will be the backup.
And here we go again.
Here we go again.
Here we go again.
And
then we're going to trash all of them. And we're gonna tank for the next whatever quarterback,
We're gonna tank for the next Patrick Mahomes who can sprinkle fairy dust everywhere. So because he made the Kansas City Chiefs. So, but I don't know. I think I don't really like what I saw from the offensive line. I'm getting really concerned about Graham Glasgow because we gave that guy so much money. And I was a big fan of that move. I thought Graham Glasgow was an okay guard. He doesn't have the injury problems like Ron O'Leary did. So I'm like, okay, that's a good, solid move from Elway. I wouldn't say it's a B+, A+ move. I'd say it's about a C+, B- move. But I'm just sitting there, and I'm just watching him over and over again just get beat in the passing game and also in the running game. It just reminds me.
He's getting holding calls too. He's getting holding calls too.
Oh, well, he got the Bortles effect. So
yeah,
or the Bulls effect. Sorry, but going back to the quarterbacks, we're just gonna have this controversy, and everybody. I wasn't huge on this one because we still almost lost to a Jets team that's god awful, and a good NFL team would have beat this team by at least 25 points or 20 points. The Chiefs would have went there and put a 40 burger on them, 50. But, the Broncos still had those stupid. Okay, so going back in the game, I'll bring this up. Here we go with Pat Shurmur running a five wide receiver set, putting the running back out, and you throw it to Royce Freeman on a quick screenplay. It gets bottled up, and this was late in the game. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, Pat Shurmur, I like what he did in this game, but there's also those moments where I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you being too cute?
Yeah,
you don't have the playmakers to do that.
No. Yeah, it's guys just being full of themselves. I mean, this team has to get back to basics. That's all, and that's how they started out. I think that's kind of how they. Then they started having some success, but everybody wants to put the cart in front of the horse, so to speak. I want to get back to Glasgow real quick. Did Munchak regress to this guy? Well, I need to talk to Detroit fan. Ask Detroit fan, what was Glasgow like? You know, they let him go. What was Glasgow really like? You know, I have to go back and look at footage. You know, if they answer the question is,
What I did some tape on him. I didn't do a lot of tape on him. I did a little bit of tape on him when we were doing those free agent signings. I was right about the AJ Boye. I was okay on the Jarrell Casey thing. I thought he could produce a little bit more than he produced.
I didn't. Yeah, I was totally did. I did not like that pick.
Yeah,
not when you had better, you could have got,
exactly.
And they could have got him.
But Graham Glasgow, I went back and watched his tape, and there were a few plays where there was a little bit of a red flag about him, and I didn't think too much of it because I'm like, well, it could have been against, it could have been the scheme that he was playing in, or also that, but I was sitting there and I'm like, it was the constant getting pushed back, and it reminds me of Connor McGovern when he was playing center. So I am sitting there. I'm like, okay, well, is it his technique or is it the scheme that he's doing? What he's doing? I'm like, no, it has to be his technique. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, okay, that could be fixed with a Hall of Fame offensive line coach and offensive player with Mike Munchak coming in. But I continue to see the same problems that he had in Detroit. So,
well, then you know what? Then Munchak fails too, because Munchak ultimately has to tell Elway, you got to look elsewhere. I think we could do better. If you're going to spend all this money, if you're talking about a 1-year deal, we'll check this guy out. That's one thing. You're going to spend all this money. I'm evaluating him, and for that kind of money, he's not worth it. You've got to go somewhere else. Okay, yeah. So he gets a fail for that one too. Now I want to move on to the Fire Fangio crowd. Okay, here it's not whether for me. Even if I loved Fangio or hated Fangio. Well, there, I love him or I hate him. This is my beef. Everybody said this is it. We've given Elway so much rope. We've given him slack. We've given him slack. We've given him slack. We have given him so much slack that if this doesn't work out, we're going to go after Elway. We're going to say Elway's got to be fired. Nobody has the guts. Nobody has the guts. And I just keep pounding the table like I did with Shanahan that the guy's got to go. He's got to go. Period. It starts at the top. So I don't see the Broncos ever getting better, really, until there's ownership. They can get him out of there, get a real GM like the one they got rid of who went to San Francisco, and start bringing in talent. There just is no talent on this team.
Exactly.
In the right places, in key places.
So I'm going to ask you about Fangio real quick. Do you think he's a better defensive coordinator than he is a head coach?
He seems to just be a defensive coordinator. Well, you know what makes him the only thing that makes him a good head coach, there's really no ego with him. But if he's spending all his time, well, the problem is I can't even evaluate a lot of these, because what like Mike Munchak, for instance, what would happen? How would Mike Munchak be in San Francisco, for instance?
He'd be great.
Yeah, exactly. How would how would he? I mean, what? I'm just saying, what can they do when? What can they do when they're way down at the top at the front office?
And that's where we both come from. It starts from the top down, and that's why I talk about stability. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't want to give up on Fangio because I want to give him at least the opportunity, and he will never get it with Elway. So I understand where you're coming from. I understand that because I agree with you. But I
mean, look at what Fangio's done on all these organizations. Then he comes here, and everybody wants to fire him. Does anybody ask? Well, he had success wherever he went, but he's not having success here.
Because he hasn't been able to get the players that he wants.
Exactly. So is it him or is he?
It's Elway.
Yes. Is he being hand tied?
I think he has a noose around his neck.
Yeah.
Because Like, okay, I would have been happy getting Devin Bush in that draft because that's a Vic Fangio player. Look how he's playing with the Steelers.
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, Vic Fangio doesn't have the players to operate his defense the way that he wants to operate. So when people criticize him, like I do to a point, I don't fully criticize him for playing prevent. But what else is he supposed to do? Because he doesn't have the pass rush.
He doesn't, no.
He doesn't have the linebacker. Oh, Josie Jewell had a good game last night.
Well, wait a minute. I got to talk about Josie Jewell. You go look at the tape. He could never tackle the quarterback.
Exactly. And there's many times.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's many times, especially on one run play I saw, and I'd have to go back and watch the tape. There was a run play going on his side, and he just got absolutely obliterated. He got pushed back.
Yes.
So he couldn't
tackle the quarterback. Every time he had to wait to get an assist to tackle because he could never tackle Darnold.
Exactly. Exactly. And this is what I love about Fangio. When after the game, when Greg Williams and Adam Gase were sticking it to him and Elway, because that was a full-on Adam Gase stick it to Elway thing because he's done that in Miami.
Yeah.
But when he's like running off the field and he's like, get off the, because he didn't want to start anything. But like, I don't want to. I know people want to give up on Fangio, and I know it's because we don't have the leadership up top, and I get that, and I get that, and I get that. But I believe Vic Fangio can be a good head coach in this league because Sean McVay, if he's so focused on the offense, why is he so good? We talk about all these great head coaches. Bill Belichick's a defensive-minded coach. Mike Tomlin's a defensive-minded coach. But you know what they have? They have stability from the top down.
Here's the thing. Driscoll's going to go somewhere and be a good backup somewhere. Rypien's going to go somewhere and be a good backup somewhere. Fangio's going to go somewhere and be a good head coach somewhere. It's going to be these guys, all these people are going to go somewhere and be good.
Even Mike Munchak.
Mike Munchak's going to go somewhere and be good. But nobody here wants to see that. When everybody leaves and all of a sudden they're good, Josie Jewell will not be. Nobody will pick up Josie Jewell. He will be. You know what I'm saying?
Josie Jewell's a fine depth player. That's it.
Yeah.
He's not a starter.
No.
Same with Alexander Johnson.
Yeah. No, not a starter. No.
They're not starters.
Exactly.
The same with. I thought Bradley Chubb had a good game. I think he's starting to get past that ACL. It's going to take time for him.
Yes,
Just keep playing him.
It would.
But I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're letting this team come back, and that's a sign of a crappy team. You're letting the New York Jets, who you were up 11 points.
Well, Rypien had a lot to do with that too. Is a bad decision making.
But I thought also
they're praising this guy. So, but
exactly they are. I was watching sports talk radio this morning, and you got all these people. Oh, Brett, we found our backup quarterback, and I'm like, he won't.
Yeah. No, you wait. They say that until the
Bortles.
Until this New England game.
Oh
yeah, the New England game.
Bortles is going to play in that game. It's not. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. I know that because.
And they will not say anything about Rypien after that.
No, because they're going to be
back up what they said. That's our guy.
Exactly, and I'm sitting there.
Two-faced son of a bitches.
I the same thing. And another guy that I want to praise, Lloyd Cushenberry. Look what happens. Lloyd Cushenberry saved an interception. I love Lloyd Cushenberry, by the way. I think he's a heck of a sideback.
Like a cornerback.
Yeah, exactly. That was crazy. And I'm like, yes. And that's what I love about Lloyd Cushenberry. I was high on him coming in the draft because he led that. It was Joe Burrow, but Lloyd Cushenberry had a lot to do with that success when he was at LSU. He had a
Sure.
lot to do with that success, calling out the defensive scheming and all that. I love Lloyd Cushenberry, but the other DeMar Dotson had a good game against a crappy Jets pass rush. Garrett Bowles, I don't think. I think this is Garrett Bowles last year in Denver. I don't see us getting him back. I think he's done.
Should be Glasgow's last year in Denver.
Thank you. And Dalton Reisner, like, dude, I don't understand how you regress from your solid rookie year. I don't understand what his problem is. Is it against the blitz packages that they're throwing at him, the stunts that he's struggling with? I don't. What is he? Is he so focused on helping Bulls out that he can't focus on his job?
That could be true too. That could be true too.
I
Munchak got to get it. Munchak because he's got crap to work with, except for like you say. Well, he's got a young guy. Cushenberry's young, so he's got young to work with and crap to work with. So there's the new right tackle came in. He seemed to be holding his own, but we don't know what
he can do against New England after this.
Yes, until I don't know.
And Royce Freeman.
We found our backup. Like I say, throw INTs and get promoted.
Oh, that was such a great draft pick. They're still like, come on, dude. That guy. I always say this about running backs. I'm like, the same with Monte Ball and all that.
Yeah.
Me personally, if I was going after a running back, I wouldn't go after guys that were used so much in college. And that is what happened with Royce. That's what happened with Monte Ball. That's what happened with all these running backs that Elway likes to go after. And I'm just sick of get rid of Royce Freeman. He can't read the lanes that he's provided. He can't do cutbacks. He can't do.
Well, now we're going to get to the running backs. No, I've never seen a running back throw a block yet. I've never seen a running back throw a block yet.
Royce Freeman tried, but he got obliterated. He tried, but he got obliterated. I don't. This is what I'm talking about. Melvin Gordon, dude. Melvin Gordon, besides that 40-some yard run, he played like trash.
Yeah,
blocked the pass.
Injured for the season when he did that jump. I mean, you jump when a guy's falling down.
That's what Troy Aikman said last night too.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you don't. Anyway,
it's everybody's praising. We are back on the right track. I'm hearing this from all the sports talk. We're back on the right track.
We're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, you almost lost to a really bad New York Jets.
It was that close.
Exactly. If it wasn't for that Quentin Williams roughing the passer penalty or whatever, I think the Jets would have won this game. And I said it before. I talked to you before the game. I'm like, dude, we have a chance of losing this game. I said it this whole week. The Jets weren't scared of us. The Jets actually came out and played.
Yes.
They weren't afraid. No one is afraid of us.
No.
Wait till we go to New England. We're gonna get obliterated.
Yeah. What's going to happen when
Bortles
throws like 3 picks on his own, a couple picks on his own?
We need Drew Lock. Drew Lock is the savior. And then once Drew Lock has a bad game, bring Bortles back in.
Bring Bortles back. Yeah. You see it coming.
Tank for Trevor. Tank for Justin Fields.
Yeah. We're here. We're here before it's here.
Yep. Don't go after those good offensive linemen that are in the draft, or don't go after solid free agent offensive linemen that Elway likes to not go after and get injured players. Just forget about the offense and defensive line. Just forget about it. That Jarrell Casey's going to come back and have a bounce back year at the age that he is past his prime. Graham Glasgow and Juwan James are just they're gonna have a bounce. They're gonna in 2021. This is just Rebuild year for the Broncos. Okay. Yeah, okay. I really trust Jawan James and Graham Glasgow to figure it out.
You know what I thought was funny in this game? I didn't get to see it. I just saw it on because I didn't get to see the first half of the game, except on the phone, the play-by-play, and that Flacco came in for the Jets. That was a funny moment. It didn't last long though.
I was kind of hoping it did because I was like, I think Flacco just wants to stick it to the Broncos because I really want.
I know that if they did, even the Broncos could sack him.
True, true, but
he did get sacked, didn't he? Flacco. No. He didn't. I thought he got.
No, that was Darnold. He got obliterated by Johnson. So, but I was going back and forth with people, like I said, and they're all pumped up, fisting. Oh yeah, we can get back in the playoff hunt. I'm just like, you almost lost to a Jets team that is terrible coaching, has terrible coaching, and has terrible player personnel. They're worse than Denver.
You know, that first scoring drive, I think, with the Broncos was aided a lot by Jet mistakes. From what I was reading on my...
A lot of penalties from the Jets. A lot.
That helped Rypien out.
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't mean to get up on Rypien, so to speak, but he really is a third stringer. Well, I just wish the Broncos, like I said, just to show that they have some stick-to-itiveness, was to give Driscoll a chance without being, under like 5 guys coming through at once,
Yeah, I agree with you. I wanted Driscoll to start this game, but, I'm high because, okay, I live...
Hold on a second.
Sorry.
But keep Rypien, okay? Keep Rypien as a third string, Don't bring Bortles in. That's what I'm getting at. If you want to, just keep that quarterback controversy thing out.
Like I said, I'm man, I don't know who it was. I was on Mile High Huddle, and I got shadow banned because I specifically said to them, I'm like, they're praising that, they're like, oh, we could have found possibly our backup quarterback. They're spreading that crap, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, dude, I said it the day of they signed him. I said, you realize that this has a lot to do with Locke than it does having to be in the backup quarterback, because they're going to do that quarterback controversy shit like they did in 2016 and 2017 with Paxton Lynch and Trevor Siemian. They're going to pull that crap.
Yeah.
So I'm not disagreeing with you at all. Where I'm coming from is,
Mile High Huddle, they didn't want to hear anything about that.
Yeah, so they're just
that's why I'm
trying to obey my comment.
Say that shit. I'm not here to say that Bortles is this, I'm here to, I'm trying to put a quality product out.
Exactly. We're not getting paid to do this crap.
Exactly.
Are you kidding me? You guys are getting paid to do that crap and start hot takes and stupid shit. We're here to say that
We're here to keep it real.
Yes, I don't understand why you brought in Bortles. What is he gonna provide the offense that Jeff Driscoll and Brett Rypien can't?
Exactly.
Obviously, those two quarterbacks can play in this league. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, those two quarterbacks can play in this league. But Bortles, Bortles is a savior. Oh my God, are you kidding me? Okay, so when I was messaging a few Jaguar fans on Twitter, and I was talking about, hey, what's Bortles, blah, blah, because I don't really watch Jacksonville. They're a train wreck. But they specifically said, I'm like, they literally said, I was talking to them, I'm like, so what do you think of the Broncos getting Bortles? And they're like, oh, they're doing what they've done the past 5 years, headlines and starting that contract. So it's not just us understanding this. It's the NFL understanding that Elway doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
I know. Well, yeah, he just keeps making the same mistakes over and over.
It's the same crap.
Yeah. It's why we signed Glasgow. That's why we don't,
he signed Juwan James.
Juwan James, you have Mr. Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, how dare you make me play?
No, you pay me.
Yeah. How dare you?
Yes. Ah.
Oh, we're back on track. Oh my God, I've been hearing it. I listened to the pregame, and I was listening to it. I'm like, I had to turn it off because they were just like, we are back on track. We are gonna make the playoffs. Do we have a chance?
What? Playoffs?
You got to be kidding me! This team won't even win 7 games.
Oh, it's got to be Fangio. We got to get rid of Fangio.
Oh, we got to get rid of Fangio after he made great adjustments.
Well, who would want to come to the Broncos? You get rid of Fangio.
And Fangio's starting to realize that. He understands. I guarantee you, he's starting to reckon, like, man, why did I take this job?
Did you remember I made a video? If you go, brother, all the way, if you go through my video log, if you go through and go all the way down to one of my first videos when they were interviewing Fangio. Fangio is my number 1 pick, but he's too smart to go to the Broncos because if he goes on the Broncos, he's either out of his mind or he's going to be regretting it later, saying, "Why did I make this decision?" That's exactly what I said on my when they were interviewing him. Well, interviewing all these head coaches. I said, that's the number 1 guy there, but he'll never come here because he's too smart for that.
And do you find it funny that they interviewed Mike Munchak too?
Yes. Does Mike
He'd probably be worse.
Yes.
I don't like Mike Munchak as a head coach. I don't like him as a head coach. But, Elway likes to... oh my gosh. I can't stand people. Broncos country. Oh, we beat the Jets. You barely beat the Jets. You beat by this much.
By that much.
By that much. Oh, you guys are haters. You guys hate the Broncos.
No, wait a minute. Time out. No, you tell them. No, you're going to be the Bronco hater come the end of the New England game.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what's also, you guys are also pulling that fucking clown crap. Oh, we need to go after a quarterback. Forget the offense and defensive line. Forget good player personnel. Forget getting rid of John Elway. Oh, we don't need that. We need a quarterback.
Yeah.
You guys are spreading that crap.
Yes.
We're not here. I want to stick with the players that we have. I don't want to move off of those guys. I don't want to move off of Drew Lock. If you move off of Drew Lock, and I'm going to tell Broncos country right now, if you move off of Drew Lock, that is going to be one of the dumbest mistake I've ever seen, because I've seen Drew Lock play, and I know he has the talent.
I said that they'll end up ruining him. I just said that. I said from the beginning.
They are going to ruin a guy who has the arm, who has the moxie, who has all the talent that you want in a quarterback. You bring in Trevor Lawrence, you're going to destroy that guy as well.
Screw him up, too. They're not going to get Trevor Lawrence because Adam Gase is a genius. Adam Gase is a genius.
The only reason Adam Gase has that New York job is because of Peyton frickin' Manning. And that's why I respect Peyton Manning, because he knows what the heck he's doing. And I want Peyton Manning in this organization because he doesn't take bullshit. Elway? I can't get rid of Vance Joseph. Oh, I wanted him as a defensive coordinator in 2015. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
But Pat Bowlen was the one who wanted Wade Phillips.
No. You bring in Wade Phillips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I got something funny for you. I wanted to get a D-Mac bitch slap doll. Have like a D-Mac bitch slap, so that I could just like bitch slap my D-Mac doll.
Here's the one that Cherry led bringing Tom Brady here. He's the one that Cherry led the whole crap.
I laughed every time. Tom Brady could come here, and I just laughed. I was on the floor rolling when people told me that. I said,
There is no way
you're going to get Tom Brady to come here.
Exactly. You would have to have Brady's smart enough to understand that we don't have chip here. We don't have stability.
There's no offensive line. The defense is shaky.
How would Elway and Brady get along?
Oh yeah.
It would be hell to pay. I mean, Brady's like Manning in a way where he doesn't take shit, and Elway, he would ruin that. So I don't want any change. The only change I could see happening with this team is special teams. But that's it. I've been calling for Tom McMahon's head for a year now because I think his special team sucks, but I don't think it's his fault because the player personnel and the depth that we have sucks. But I understand it from a logistics standpoint. I'm not a big fan of Tom McMahon, but that's just me. But that's the only change I want. I don't want to get rid of Ed Donatel. I don't want to get rid of Pat Shermer. I just want stability from the coaching department. I don't want to get rid of coaches.
You know what's funny is that we've never really got into the train wreck that's the special teams on this team because there's so many other glaring problems, and that one's so obvious that.
What did you think of the special teams last night?
You got lucky.
Spencer should have returned that football for a touchdown if he was faster enough.
Well, just the fact that he was able to get loose, he got lucky.
Yeah, what kind of block was that from Tyreek Cleveland? How do you let a punter?
The punter.
How do you let a punter?
Well, you run into him. You run into him. That's what you do. You run right into him.
Tyreek Cleveland, that's your job.
You go like this. If you want to get stopped by the punter, you go right at the punter. If you don't, you just kind of go off. You just kind of go off.
I think Sam Martin had a pretty good game last night. I think he played decent. I wouldn't say Sam Martin's. He had a better game. But that penalty, it was on the. Here's another thing I'm getting sick and tired of. These refs. I'm gonna call the refs out on this point. What the hell was that? There was a penalty on a field goal attempt from the Jets, and they missed the field goal, but there was a flag on the Broncos. Josh Jones supposedly ran into a defensive long snapper for the Jets. I don't know if you saw that play or not, but they were explaining how, he didn't have time to get up and because he was a defenseless player, and he didn't have time to get up and defend himself. What the hell? What the hell? I'm looking at that play, and you can look at it. It's field goal attempt. Josh Jones is trying to block the football, and he's just running through him. Oh, but that's a flag. That's a defenseless player because the long snapper. Oh my God.
Well, what did Troy Aikman have to say about that?
Oh, he was like, that's one of the stupidest penalties I've ever seen.
Well, I heard.
I love those two. I love Troy Aikman and Joe Buck, by the way.
Explain to me that Bradley Chubb, there's a cheap shot, like at the end of the half or right.
Oh, they were going for his legs.
They're going for his legs. I heard there was a cheap shot.
So, they're pulling what the Broncos did in the 90s. You know how?
Chop block.
The chop block that, how Elway got all was great because of the chop block and the great offensive line he had. Yeah, so I was like, whatever, it reminds me so much of when we played the Titans a few years ago and Harry Douglas, the receiver, tried to go for Chris Harris Jr.'s legs, and Akeem Talib said he was trying to fight Harry Douglas and all that. Whatever. It's the Jets. They're a poorly coached team. Adam Gase is a disgrace, and Greg Williams should be out of the NFL because Greg Williams, and I'm going to bring this up. People regard him as a great defense coordinator. He sucks. Greg Williams for the Jets stinks. And for him to fucking pull that crap, and Adam Gase, I knew Adam Gase was going to pull something like that, though, in this game. I had a feeling it was coming because he hates Elway. He hates the Broncos. So it is what it is. But I don't – Broncos country, Just stop with the whole we're back on track crap. Because we almost lost this game. I was texting my dad last night, and he's like, "We're back." And I'm like, "Dad, come on. Seriously, you gotta be kidding me. Like, just stop it. I know you're excited because we won our first game, but I'm like, come on. Seriously. We barely beat this team.
You're going to New England next week. You do know.
Oh, we are going to get destroyed.
10 days.
Cam Newton is going to win his first game against the Broncos. It's not even close. We're going to get obliterated.
Cam Newton pass rush is the way to go.
Oh, they're not going to stop Cam Newton when they do the read option. Guaranteed. They're not going to stop that because they don't have the defensive line. Oh, Shelby Harris. Can we talk about him?
Yeah, go for it.
What is so special about Shelby Harris?
He batted down a ball.
He doesn't provide any push up the middle. And the sacks that he does get are missed sacks from Bradley Chubb or other players. Or
clean up
sacks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. This last night I figured we could win this game, but the Jets were gonna have to give us opportunity, and that's what they did. They gave us opportunities because they weren't disciplined. If they were more disciplined in this game, they would have won the game.
So to wrap it up, Bronco Country, you're going to really love the Broncos after the New England game. Get ready for that.
Yep. Get ready because you guys are going to, we're going to win the Super Bowl. We're on the Super Bowl track.
I don't think you can fake it. My Little Ponies are going to be there.
Yep. John Elway's going to save his job.
Oh, yeah. Maybe Fangio should fire Elway. I think that's what.
We got to get rid of Fangio. It's the only way. We got to get a quarterback. So
yeah. Got to get a quarterback. Get a quarterback. Well, you got a quarterback.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's right. He was yesterday's.
Yep. Juwan James is going to be the savior.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have a little discussion later on our next thing with New England.
Okay, I'm going to go watch some tape probably this weekend or something and see what we can figure out.
Josh McDaniels is going to have revenge again. This time with Cam Newton.
Oh, yeah.
But, hey, we got Rypien. Found your backup.
Wait till Bortles is in.
Oh, of course, yeah. Well, cheers for Bortles.
Yep, Bortles is the savior.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I had to put that out there. Even though it was so premature, I had to get it out in the lexicon out there, be ahead of the curve.
Oh, because you know what's going to happen.
It's coming, yeah. It's coming. All right.
See you later.
Yeah, talk to you about New England next time.
All right. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.